our season opener finally, Saturday at Ohio State at noon, ESPN2. Coach, and we have our all-MAC linebacker, Khalil Mack, here as well. So, Coach, whenever you're ready, open up with a statement, and we'll take questions for both of the coaches.
Very good. Thank you, John. I want to thank everyone for being here. It's a special year. It's our 100th year of playing college football at UB. 15th, as you heard from our athletic director, Danny White. Camp went very well this year, and I couldn't have been more pleased the way our team demonstrated great focus, great leadership. One of the highlights of fall camp, we had the President of the United States coming into a sellout crowd in Alumni Arena and gave us a little shout out to the football team. So it was a special occasion for us. Now we got a big-time fan in the White House. The message and the focus has been consistent since the dad took the job here. It's always about expectations of preparation and performance. And our leadership has really stepped up in understanding what that is each and every day. And we talk about being a complete team. We spent a lot of time putting our players in a lot of different game-like scenarios this fall camp. I really like where our personnel is at in terms of their development. On the offensive side, certainly very pleased with the offensive line. We saw Dylan and Trevor Sales, Dylan Guy and Trevor Sales both out there yesterday, and they're getting better with the returning of Andre Davis, who's done an outstanding job, and same thing with Jason Carlson and Jake Silas. Our tight ends, I really like where we're at with that group. I really like the emergence of Mason Schreck, one of our redshirt freshmen, who's really grown into that position, and we're going to utilize him. Our running backs have done an outstanding job. Bo Oliver is one of the best. You talk about a guy who understands how to practice each and every day and how to prepare himself for the kind of competition we're going to face this year. He does an outstanding job for us, and he inspires other players. Anthony Taylor's really stepped up, also being a key backup. You look at our wide receivers, Alex Nutz and Freddie Lee, along with John Dunmore and a couple other guys have done a nice job. We'll give some options for Joe Licata, who's done an outstanding job of managing the offense, getting bigger, faster, stronger. But that defensive side has been really impressive this fall camp. With the leadership of Khalil, you can't help but, put a lot of emphasis on how to try to find where 46 is at. So he's been an outstanding job for us, along with the front three, with Sicoli and Colby and also Bo Bachtel has done a nice job for us on the defensive line. Our linebackers with Lee Skinner, Blake Bean, Jake Stockman, all have really emerged and stepped up. And our back end, you can't say enough about Courtney Lester and Nigel Johnson, Derek Brim, along with our safeties and Okoye Houston and Adam Redden. And these are names that have been mentioned many times before. We have over 22 seniors returning back this year, along with 23 juniors. So around 45 upperclassmen have done an outstanding job. A lot of guys who have competed in a lot of big games. None bigger than the one we're going to face on Saturday at noon on national television against Ohio State. We know it's going to be a tremendous big-time college environment, be a great challenge for our players and our coaches, and that's another big plus for us. We did not have any coaching change on our entire staff. We bring them all back with their families, and I couldn't be more proud to have each and every one of those gentlemen back. Did a great job of working through the game plan up to date. It's been solid. We know they have an outstanding football team. They went undefeated last year. Coach Myers says that this year's team is right on track, if not even further along than they were a year ago. So it'll be a great test for our coaching staff and our players, and we're excited about that national exposure that'll provide us for our football program. So with that, turn it over to any questions. We certainly appreciate Khalil being here and being a representative of our football team. He's also been voted one of our 5 captains this year.
Jeff, it's the second straight year you'll open with a top 5 opponent. How much did the experience for the guys last year at Georgia and some success in the first half of that game, how much will that prepare them for what they're going to face on Saturday?
Well, that's the good thing about bringing all these kids that were in Georgia with us. They understand these are challenging moments, and I thought they responded quite well, as you referred to, Paul. So, I feel like our kids are excited. They're locked in. They're prepared. They've been through a lot together. They were able to hold themselves together all last year, finishing strong on, 3 out of the last 4 games. And they're eager to get out there and compete. That locker room has tremendous morale, but their mindset is to go in there and prepare for victory and perform that way and be a complete team. Let the end results take care of themselves. They were challenged in a very hostile environment last year in that opening game. But I fully expect our team to be locked in, block out all the distractions, and really go play football, because that's what it really comes down to.
Coach, can you talk about the camaraderie on this team with all the seniors, especially a lot of the fifth-year seniors?
Well, I'll bring up this example. Khalil and Bo. You talk about 2 young men that are best friends. They care deeply about each other. They push each other. And that has really inspired other players to see that relationship between Bo Oliver and Khalil Mack, and how special that relationship is. And there's a lot of guys in there that see that, and they want that opportunity. And so these guys have grown together. Over the past 3 years, these guys have been through a lot. These are the guys that we didn't redshirt as freshmen. Colby Way. We did not redshirt Jason Carlson and Alex Zordich. So these guys been through a lot, and they are a very close-knit team. They care deeply about each other. And that obviously is a big message that I've always sent out to the players. The closer we are, the better we'll be. And that's why they've spent all that time committing to each other all summer, staying together last year, and certainly this is, in my opinion, the best camp that we've had. And I think maybe even Khalil maybe even mentioned to that, because he's been here for 5 years.
Coach, during your time here, you guys have scheduled a lot of big-name opponents: Georgia, Tennessee, now Ohio State. Can you just talk a little bit about your scheduling philosophy and why you like to bring these big-name programs on your schedule, especially early in the year?
Well, I think for the national exposure, we have over 12 players on our team from the state of Ohio. There's going to be 7 or more making that trip. Just like last year, we have young men down in Georgia. So it's a great opportunity for me to go down into these homes and recruit these young men and say, hey, we're going to schedule a game to come back down to your home state. You're going to have a chance to see your son play, and you as a prospect to go back down and play against some of these big caliber football teams. So it's tremendous opportunity to measure up against one of the best in elite programs in the country. They're ranked number 2, so somebody thinks they're pretty good. So you knock them off, you just beat the number 2 team, and that's our mindset, is to go in there and be well prepared and be a extremely competitive football team for 4 quarters. We know there's going to be challenging moments in these games, as we saw last year. But I thought we took a lot out of that. And it's good for our fans. It's good for people to see what big-time college football is about. Those are programs that have been able to do it consistently over a course of a period of time. We need to get there. And we're building it each and every day with our leadership in this university. And these are great moments for our fans and our future recruits to come in and say, hey, we're going to have a chance to play against some of the best. And they want to be challenged.
What are you guys up against on Saturday?
Oh, we're up against some good competition, but we respect our opponents, but we don't fear anyone. We're ready to go out and show the country what Buffalo's capable of playing.
Is that kind of the mindset you have to have? No fear. Obviously you have that against every opponent, but the team, like Coach mentioned, number 2 team in the country.
Oh.
Obviously, someone thinks they're pretty good.
Exactly.
Is that the mindset you have to have?
No doubt about it. And that's the mindset we have every week. But we're on a mission. The mission is to go in and beat Ohio State this weekend.
Khalil, you played against RG3, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Do you
sir.
see any similarities between him and Braxton?
In a lot of ways, especially in the pocket. But at the same time, I played RG3 when he was a little younger. He didn't have that pocket presence, and I kind of feel like that's what Braxton has. Well, he has that pocket presence, but he shies away from it. So he likes to scramble to make his throws, and that's what RG3 did a lot against us that year. Yeah.
What impresses you most about Braxton?
His
Freakish in terms of his size.
Yeah, his size and speed. His speed is very impressive. The way he scrambles out of the pocket and the angles he takes to get out of the pocket is unique. Yeah.
Khalil, what's different about this year's team that's going to allow you guys to get over that hump and have a winning season, compete for a MAC championship?
I think it was said earlier with the camaraderie. I feel like we're close as a unit, close as a team. The defense has been playing so well together for a number of years. I mean, we have a lot of experience, and Lee Skinner coming back at Mike linebacker and Kobe Way playing tackle for 3 years, and then Brandon Oliver and Alex Newts and all those guys been playing on. And then you have the offensive line with Jason Carlson and Trevor Sales. They've been playing together well. I feel like the experience level that we have on this team is going to be the difference, as well as with the camaraderie that we have as a team and how together we are and how close we are as a family here at UB.
Is it a different feeling though for you guys?
It's a different feeling. Yeah, you can feel it. You definitely can feel it, especially when you step in the locker room and you got somebody ready to play with you as soon as you get in there and try to grab you up, and you know what I'm saying, you got to slam somebody. But it's a unique feeling being around, especially at this time and getting ready for this big game we're going to play this weekend.
How much have you and Bo talked about this being your last year, and then how much, Khalil, is the fact that you 5 guys as captains are all seniors, you're all, among the top players on this team. How much has that helped you be better leaders because all those things have sort of fallen into place like that?
It's a good thing that we have that senior leadership, that senior class leadership like we have with Brandon Oliver, Jason Carlson, Kobe Way, Alex Newts. You have a lot of respect for those guys, being that they've put in a lot of work. You see them working off season. They're not taking days off. You got guys like Bo that doesn't take days off. If you see him, he's stretching. If you see Newts, he's in the training room trying to get something squared away. Jason Carlson, he's working out and eating every day. So it's a respect factor that you have for those guys, and you want to mimic the things that they do to get yourself better.
Personally, how fired up do you get, Khalil, on the stage? So many people watching, I see you smiling over your face.
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of show off what you have and what kind of player you are.
It's a great opportunity. I feel like it's an opportunity for me to show what I can do, but at the same token, it's not about me. It's about my team. It's about what we're planning to do as a team, and that's win. All of our effort goes towards winning, and that's what I've been saying. That's what I'm gonna continue to say because that's all I can do. I can get my effort towards winning.
Coach Meyer had some high praise for not only you, but your defense in general. Saying that what you guys play is not something you see every day.
Yes, sir.
How excited are you guys to kind of show right away, this defense kind of hoping to get this offense in trouble?
Oh, we're pretty excited. It's a great feeling to have. You know what I mean, somebody to respect the fact that you play great defense, but it's another thing to go out and show it. I feel like our actions have to speak way louder than our words and everything else, and that's what we plan on doing this weekend, showing that we can play great defense.
Last year, the defensive unit improved, every week down the stretch. Where do you think this unit this year compares at this time to last year?
I think we have a lot of experience, and that's one of the things that I continuously say, because you have guys like Okoye Houston and Adam Redden, Courtney Lester and Najee Johnson. They've been playing so well together, and they've only been able to grow playing against some of the best competition, and you only continue to get better. I feel like week by week, but I feel like this offseason has helped us carry over from what we did in the last half of the season and continuously get better, because we only as strong as our weakest link, you know what I mean? And I feel like we don't have any of those, and we can only grow.
Coach, it's a good thing you don't have a lot of freshmen, freshman 1 and 2. You have more experience.
Right. In terms I mentioned before, I mean, when you look at 22 seniors returning, in terms of the 23 juniors, and all those guys are key impact players that are returning, guys that have started, last year before, multiple years. You look at Khalil; he's done an outstanding job for us, along with, there's a handful, though, freshmen that, are going to be utilized or better being evaluated and potentially utilized, in a lot of key situations on special teams. We're locked in with our personnel in terms of the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side. But we always count on true freshmen to come in and contribute. Last year we had 5 true freshmen. The year before was 6. My first year was 6. So I could see us potentially, I think we're taking 5, I believe, right now in my mind that will be going on this trip, that are in the depth and potentially get a chance to play in, a tremendous environment, as a true freshman. And a couple of them are from Ohio.
Jeff, what separated Dunmore at this point?
Effort, his mindset every day, his blocking, his route running, his precision, his ball catching skills. I mean, as I tell him, it's their job to make themselves noticed, and he made himself noticed. A young man that came in as a non-scholarship player and has earned a scholarship in our program. Very proud of the work John has done, and he's going to have a chance to line up and be the starting wideout in a couple of our different personnel groupings. So, he's just done a great job in terms of his effort and his mindset. So that's what separated. And basically, Coach Wood, felt like he was performing at that level to be that named starter. And that's what we tell all of our players. Look, you want to be a starter, then compete, practice, and prepare like one. And that's what John has done, and he's earned the right to be that starter out there.
Is there any trepidation with Evan Lutz as your primary punt return and utilizing him in that? I mean, are you looking just to assure hands there? I mean, it kind of makes him a little bit susceptible.
Well, as any, you can't play cautious. You can't make decisions based on, what if you get a guy hurt? Look, great players need to be on that field. We got to put the best 11, as I tell my coaches. And if the best 11 on special teams are all starters on offense and defense, play them. That's another critical down. It's not necessarily special teams. It's another extension of offense and defense. And I've always felt, if we don't put the best ones out there, are we making the right decisions that are in the best interest of our team being successful? So Alex is going to have that opportunity, and I think he's going to do a great job for us this year.
Coach, what have you seen in Joe Licata from the end of last year when he got you guys 3 out of 4 wins to where he is now, getting ready to head into Ohio State? Maturity, his leadership. He's improved his physical development. His skill development. He does a great job of seeing things from sideline to sideline. Does a tremendous job in understanding where the ball needs to go. He gets the ball out of his hands very quick, and he's very accurate. He's a tremendous competitor. He's a team player. He cares deeply about this program. Here's a Western New York young man who chose to stay close to home. So he could continue growing and building this program and be afforded an opportunity to be that starting quarterback. And he's Don Patterson, our quarterback coach, has done an outstanding job. Alex Wood, my offensive coordinator, did an outstanding job putting together the right package, along with my emphasis and influence in that room, to having the right package for Joe. But Joe can always make something happen regardless of what time of the game it's in, because of his ability to make throws downfield. And he's got a great running back that he can hand the ball off to, and he's got an offensive line that is playing extremely well. And it'll be exciting to see it all put together when we play against Ohio State in every game thereafter. So his maturity has really improved, and he's a sophomore. It's the first time I think that we have a quarterback in running our offense that can get some shots downfield and be very accurate. Not that George can't. George has been a tremendous leader, one of the finest young men I've been around, and we have to get him ready too. But Joe's really clearly separated himself at this time.
Have you decided on the third quarterback?
The third is still a competition between Tony Daniel and Colin Michael. I would say that probably Tony's got a little bit of a slight edge there, just because he's been in the program maybe just a little bit longer. But Colin certainly has, shown signs that he can make some of those big time throws and plays downfield. He's learning the system better, so he's more confident and comfortable with it. So I would say that, obviously Tony being 3 and then Colin being 4, but they're all 4 of these guys are outstanding young men and really have done a nice job in terms of progressing in our system.
Jeff, you're transitioning a little bit personnel-wise at the tight end spot. How much are you transitioning that position in its role in the offense with some different guys in there?
Well, I think we have 4 very talented football players. When you look at Jimmy Gordon, Alex Dennison, you look at Mason Schreck and Matt Weiser, all 4 of them can make plays. So what we've done is we've looked very carefully at all the different personnel groupings that we can put on the field. So you're going to see all 4 of them. You're going to see Mason in a role in some of our different personnel packages that feature him, along with guys like Devin Campbell and Alex Nutz and John Dunmore, and then be able to bring in Jimmy and Matt, to put a little bit different personnel out there with a little bit different mindset in terms of what we want to do to capitalize on some things from that group. So, you try to find a way to get all the good ones on the field. And if you got a lot of good ones, get them all out there, and we've done a very nice job. I've been very pleased with how well these kids have all, embraced each other. There's sometimes they're going to have to run plays or watch the offense and as we're executing plays on the sidelines, and then they're going to have their chance to get in there. So we're going to get in a good rhythm and a good flow with all 4 of those tight ends. But I've been real pleased with Marty Spieler, our tight ends coach, to get those guys involved in the game plan. Now it's just an opportunity for them to go out there and make plays, and they can all do that.
Coach, with your experience, back in Cincinnati, what's Ohio State football? What's the up there? What's it all like game day this Saturday? What's it going to be like?
That whole state is full of Buckeyes. I moved to Bearcat country, and I didn't see too much Bearcat in there. I think they give a Buckeye to every child born in that state and every hospital. But it's it's a great state, and I've always said that. And we have a great state in the state of New York, and we're going to continue bringing that same type of energy and focus as they've been able to build on. In Ohio. Ohio State is a tremendous place. I've coached with a couple of the coaches on their staff. I've coached against Urban Meyer, recruited in that state. They take a tremendous amount of pride, and it's a priority. And that's what we want to continue to bring along here in the state of New York. Make football a priority. Make this a big-time football state. And that's one of the things why I go out there and recruit and embrace every high school program in the state of New York to try to bring that same mentality. But it'll be great to see how that stadium fills up, how they get into the pregame and the tailgating, and how they've been behind their state university of their state, as we want to become in the state of New York.
Jeff, would you say Dylan and Trevor are probable then?
Yeah, they practiced yesterday.
Is there anybody that's doubtful going into
That
Saturday?
Well, the only one that we have is Jordan. Jordan's the only one with the elbow. We've been very good about, staying healthy. Their training's been very solid, and we've been very smart on how we've practiced our players. But all those guys, the Dylan guys, Trevor Sales, Freddie Lee, all those guys are going to be ready to play.
Anything else?
Okay. Thank you.
Coach Cleo and Danny White are available for one-on-ones. Anybody?
Thank you. Hello. Good job. All right.